Welcome back, guys, to another video. The prediction videos are finally back. We have the Champions League round of 16 predictions, and oh boy, we got some exciting matchups coming here, like PSG versus Chelsea, again. Newcastle versus Barcelona again. Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham, and of course, Real Madrid versus Manchester City for like the 69th time. So yeah, so you know what? So like first there was a bit of something with the video. The first video I was gonna collaborate with someone, but unfortunately he was busy that day. So a bit of change of plans. So like the next video, I promise you, is gonna be with the collaborator. I promise you. So like right now it's me and myself. So yeah, let's get right into the predictions. So starting off with the a rematch of the FIFA Club World Cup final. Again, PSG versus Chelsea. And okay, so PSG, they finished 11th in the league phase, just like last season, but got through Monaco in the playoffs. But they actually struggled in the second leg. They failed to beat a 10-man Monaco in their own stadium. Like the only thing that worries me about PSG is their defense. I know they have the defending champions are like they were like in really good form that season, but like this season they've kind of fallen off. Like right now they're top in the French league, but like not by a huge amount of points, just by 4 points over RC Lens, who are actually competing for the title. Yeah, PSG versus Chelsea again. It's gonna be peak. So players for PSG, they have good players like Dembele, who is probably gonna be injured. Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, João Neves, Hakimi, Pacho, etc. PSG are stacked with world-class players in every position. But the only thing that worries me about PSG is probably the goalkeeper issue, and a bit the defense, because they've conceded a lot of goals this season. And yeah, now moving on to Chelsea, fifth in the Premier League. They're like really inconsistent. They just beat Wrexham, but like by barely. But it was not a good performance from them, but they barely beat them. But they also they got through the league phase, the Champions League. They finished sixth, and now they're in the round of 16 again against PSG. And now yeah, Chelsea have some good players like Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, Joao Pedro. He just became world class this season. Who else? Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo. Yeah. Joel Hato is a really good youngster. Kukureya can also like pocket. Is a good defender as well, etc. Like yeah, Chelsea, you cannot underestimate them. Now for my predictions, who do I think? This is really tough. It's such a close game to call. Can Chelsea win again? Well, I might just go for my first upset of the video. I think Chelsea are gonna tie in the first leg against PSG, because PSG they just showed that they can't even beat a 10-man Monaco. And Chelsea are gonna win 2-1 in the second leg to hunt PSG once again after that Club World Cup final defeat. So I think Chelsea are gonna win because they just beat Aston Villa 4-1. Like it was a crazy game for them. They absolutely destroyed them. And if they play like that against PSG, surely they're gonna beat them. So I got my first upset of the video by PSG losing to Chelsea. Sorry, PSG fans, but I do not want to jinx Chelsea again, just like I did in the Club World Cup. Okay, now moving on to a relatively easier match to predict. Galatasaray versus Liverpool. Now Galatasaray, in the playoffs, first they absolutely demolished Juventus, 5-2. Oof, what a demolishing! But then they survived the scare from them, because Juventus actually came back. They were up 3-0, and then the game got sent to extra time. Then Victor Osimhen and Noah Lang punished them. So yeah, Galatasaray, and also first in the league. But yeah, but I kind of feel bad for Liverpool. And furthermore, these two teams actually met each other in the second Champions League match day in the league phase, where Liverpool lost 1-0 thanks to a goal from Victor Osimhen from a penalty. Yeah, Galatasaray have some good players like Ilkay Gundogan, Leroy Sané, Noah Lang, and of course the super striker Victor Osimhen, etc. Like also like such a boy. Eh, so yeah, Galatasaray, it's gonna be tough in the first leg because that atmosphere in Turkey, oof, it's gonna be loud as hell. And now Liverpool. To be honest, this season they are playing absolutely mid. Like I know in a period of time in like between October and November they were going winless, but then they regained their form. They finished third in the Champions League phase, which is good. But right now they're sixth in the Premier League. They just dropped points to Wolves. They lost to the worst team in the Premier League. They lost to Wolverhampton Wanderers, 2 goals to 1. Yeah, they lost 2-1, and then they beat them back 3 goals to 1 in the FA Cup. Liverpool, they've been very inconsistent, but they have some good players like Florian Wirtz is finally back in his form. Hugo Ekitike is one of the most underrated strikers in Europe. Mo Salah, but yeah, he's Mo Salah. He can like punish you, but I know he's having a bad season, but he shows up in some big games. And yeah, also defenders like Konate and Van Dijk are bouncing back after their poor start. And also, McAllister is also starting to play well. Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about Liverpool is the defense. That's it. But for my prediction, I think the first leg is gonna go 1-0 to Galatasaray, and the second leg, Liverpool are gonna come back and win 3 goals to 1. I think Liverpool are gonna advance to the next round. So yeah, and now moving on to Real Madrid versus Man City for like the billionth time. I feel like we've had more matchups between these two than more El Clasicos in the past 5 years, which is just like crazy. Now Real Madrid finished 9th in the league phase, where they had to play Benfica again, where they beat them over both legs thanks to a Vinny Jr. masterclass performance. He was just playing unreal against Benfica. So yeah, Real Madrid, but right now they're second in La Liga. They just lost to Getafe, but then beat Celta Vigo. They lost 2 games in a row. Yeah, I don't think Alvaro Arbeloa is the man to trust. I know, but but Real Madrid will most likely get crushed by Manchester City. Here's why: Man City finished 8th in the league phase. They're second in the Premier League. I know they just dropped points to Nottingham Forest, but I know what Man City is capable of. They have great players like Erling Haaland, Antoine Semenyo, Jeremy Doku, Ryan Cherki. Ruben Diaz also bouncing back to his form. Rodri, Ballon d'Or winner. Phil Foden. Man City are stacked with players. And these two teams actually met each other in the Champions League match day 5. Actually, no, 6-6, I think. Where Man City won in the Bernabeu, 2 goals to 1. So I think that Man City could win, but like I know Real Madrid, they have a lot of injuries. Like Kylian Mbappe is injured, their entire defense is injured, Jude Bellingham is injured, and yeah, they're gonna be having some issues. But I think Man City can. I think the Man City can beat Real Madrid once again, because their attack has been really good with Semenyo and Marc Guehi. Marc Guehi is like. He's like one of the best center backs in the world right now. He's been playing phenomenal for Manchester City. But now, I think that they're gonna advance to the quarterfinals by beating Real Madrid. First game is gonna be an absolute cracker. I think Man City are gonna win again in the Bernabeu, 3 goals to 2, and second game 3-3. So yeah, I think that Man City are gonna knock out Real Madrid this time. Let's go. That's what I need. Now, okay, Atalanta versus Bayern Munich, an underrated fixture. So yeah, starting off with Atalanta, they finished 15th in the Champions League phase, which is not bad. But then they had a tough task of playing Borussia Dortmund. Well, the first game finished 2-0 to Borussia Dortmund, and then what a comeback by Atalanta. They won 4 goals to 1. Thanks to a last-minute penalty scored by Charles de Cartelai. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know. The Belgian camp. He's really good. So, I think this game I think Bayern got this game in the bag. They're first in the Bundesliga, finished second in the Champions League phase. Yeah, and Bayern have like some really good players like Harry Kane, Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is playing great this season. He's having a fire season with Bayern. And also Odyssey. Odyssey, he is just too good, man. Odyssey is also really good. The French winger. And yeah, they have players in the back line with like Kimmich, Lennart Karl, the youngster, Nicolas Jackson, Jonathan Tah. And I think Bayern can actually win, but Atalanta, they're 7th in Serie A, fighting for a European spot. But like that form, I don't think that's good. So I think Bayern Munich have this in the bag. I think they're gonna win against Atalanta, but like the first game is gonna be very close. Traveling to Atalanta is a very tough task. I think they're gonna win 3-2. The second leg, I think Bayern are gonna win 3-1. I think Atalanta can put like a good fight against Bayern Munich because their record against German clubs is actually really impressive. They beat Bayer Leverkusen in the 2024 Europa League final, 3-0, and then they beat Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. But I got Bayern advancing to the quarterfinals. Now moving on to my club Barcelona, and we are playing Newcastle United. So yeah, starting off with Newcastle, doing like really inconsistent in the Premier League. They are 12th in the Premier League. I know it's very inconsistent by them, but you cannot underestimate them, because they have a really fast team. They have players like Nick Woltemade, Anthony Elanga, Johan Wissa, Bruno Guimaraes, William Osula, etc. Like, Newcastle cannot be underestimated because traveling all the way to St. James Park is a tough task. I'm telling you. But I know. Also, these two teams, we played each other in the first match day of the Champions League, where we won 2-1 thanks to 2 brilliant goals from Marcus Rashford. And I think we should start Marcus Rashford instead of Lewandowski or Ferran Torres up top. Now, Barcelona got knocked out by Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. We nearly came back. We were so goddamn close. So damn close to coming back, but we didn't. But I know, and yesterday, we beat Athletic Bilbao 1-0. I mean, not the best performance, but still a win. Thanks to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal is just the best player in the world, man. Just, come on, bro. He's just the best player in the world. Because 19 goals for an 18-year-old, that is just crazy. Lamine Yamal is just the best player in the world. And now Barcelona, we have great players like Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Marcus Rashford, Robert Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, Pedri, etc. But our fullbacks are gonna be out. Balde and Koundé are out, so we're gonna have to play with Eric Garcia, maybe a right back, but I think Cancelo a right back, and on left back I think Gerard Martin is the clear option. So but moving on to my prediction, it will be tough. It will be tough playing against. It will be tough playing against Newcastle away. Playing against St. James Park is always very tough. So, I think my prediction for this game, I think the first game is gonna finish just like last time, 2-1, and then I got Barcelona advancing to the next round by beating them 1-0. So hopefully, we go through to the quarterfinals. We have to beat Newcastle. It's gonna be tough, but we have to beat them. I know Newcastle are 12th in the Premier League, but do not underestimate them. So now moving on to Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham. And come on, bro, this is like the easiest game to predict. Starting off with Atletico Madrid. I know they beat us in the Copa del Rey, and they have been finding their form back recently. They just beat Real Sociedad 3-2 in the Champions League. They beat Real Sociedad 3-2 in La Liga. They're in third place in La Liga as always. But I know they just eliminated Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. But in the Champions League, they finished. I don't know, bro. Newcastle, they went to the play. Atletico Madrid, they went to the playoffs and beat Club Brugge in the playoffs. Thanks to Sorloth cooking for them. So yeah, they have also we have really good players like, I don't know, Almeida Lukman, Julian Alvarez is scoring after like that long goal drought. Who else? Alex Baena, Thiago Almada, Johnny Cardoso, etc. Like Atletico Madrid have some dangerous attack. Like Lookman and Alvarez have been playing really good. Also Sorloth and Griezmann. Griezmann is, I think he's back in 2026. How is he playing really well? He's back to his like 2016 days. So yeah, I think Atletico Madrid, I think they're gonna beat relegation battling Tottenham. But they somehow surprisingly did well in the Champions League. They finished fourth in the Champions League with only one defeat. That is just crazy. Relegation battle Tottenham are somehow doing well in the Champions League, which is just crazy. But I just think this is probably a very easy game for Atletico. I think Atletico Madrid are gonna beat Tottenham. First game, 4-0. Their attack can deadly punish Spurs' defense. Second game is gonna be very easy. 2-1 win for Atletico. So I got Atletico Madrid advancing to the next round. Now moving on to Bodo Glimt versus Sporting. Probably the most underrated matchup of the Champions League. Now Bodo Glimt, they've done a fairy tale story in this Champions League. They, firstly, when they were expected to get knocked out, they beat Manchester City, and then they beat Atletico Madrid away. 2-1. That was unreal by Bodo Glimt. And then they had to play Inter Milan. And then I jinxed it. I'm sorry. I predicted Bodo Glimt to get knocked out, but they beat Inter Milan 3-1. But then in the second leg, when I was watching that game, I was like, I think Inter Milan are gonna come back, because at the San Siro it is very difficult to play there. But yeah, so they knocked out Inter Milan 2-1. I think, and now their league does not start. The Norwegian league does not start until in a week. In 1 week time, the Norwegian league does not start. But Bodo Glimt, they have great players like Kasper Hoeg, John Peter Hauge, other players, like I don't even know how to pronounce them. But now Sporting, they finished 7th in the Champions League. That is just impressive. And then they're second in the Portuguese league right now, which is not bad. I know they lost on Gyökeres, and they found a great replacement for him, Luis Suarez, the Colombian striker, who was 30 goals this season already. He is just really good. I would love to see him play the World Cup and ball out for Colombia, my country. And yeah, Sporting, I know. But now, time for my prediction. I think, oh god, this is one of the toughest games to go. But I think the Bodo Glimt fairy tale will continue, and they're gonna knock out Sporting. First leg is gonna finish 3-1 win for Sporting. I mean, Bodo Glimt at home, because playing in the Arctic Circle, freezing cold, and it's the only pitch that is turf. It's not a grass pitch. It's a turf field. So and the second leg is gonna finish 1-0 to Sporting. So I got Bodo Glimt advancing to the quarterfinals. I would love to see that. That would be peak. And now, for our last prediction, Bayer Leverkusen versus Arsenal. Now, this is another very easy game. Like Leverkusen, they're like playing really bad. They're very inconsistent this season. I know they beat Olympiacos. At least I got that prediction correct. They beat Olympiacos over the 2 legs in the playoffs. But in the Bundesliga, they're 6th right now. That's because I know they technically lost all their key players, like Florian Wirtz to Liverpool, also Jeremy Frimpong to Liverpool, also Jonathan Tah to Bayern Munich. But they found a good replacement for them, like Malik Tillman, the American star boy, is playing really well. Really well for Leverkusen, and also Patrick Schick, the striker. He's also really lethal striker for Leverkusen. But now Arsenal. I think Bayern are the best team in the world, but I just think Arsenal, Corner FC, they're first in the Premier League. Because they always score from corners, man. It's getting like very tiring. And you know what? They also use an illegal corner tactic. The football rules say that because they put all the defenders to like block the goalkeeper's vision, which is illegal in football. So what Arsenal are doing is illegal. So yeah, Corner FC first in the Premier League. They also finished first in the Champions League, and they could actually win the quadruple this season, which is crazy. They have really good players like Eberici, Eze, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Gyökeres, Saliba, Gabriel. Gabriel is one of the best. Is probably the best center back in the world right now. Yeah, and Saliba also. Yeah, and they also have an underrated goalkeeper, David Raya. So yeah, I think Arsenal are probably easily going to win this game. First game is going to be tough at Leverkusen, Bayer Arena, 2 goals to 1. Then Arsenal going to win 2 goals to 0 to secure the quarterfinal spot. So yeah, that's it. Those are my prediction videos, and yeah, we'll see you next week with my collaborator for the second leg prediction videos.